educational institutions and companies, helping them support their family wellbeing challenges. As you know, every week I interview different experts, and today I'm super excited, very, very excited to be interviewing an old friend, an old colleague, Bernardo. Hi, Bernardo. Thank you so much for
Hello, Jasmine.
coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Very happy to be here.
I know, it's so nice to see you again. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Right. So I have a few jobs actually. My main job, I work as a project manager at a publisher called Edelvives. So I'm in charge of an app which helps kids develop their reading skills.
Oh,
It's
wow.
called Tatum. So it's a very nice app for kids, aimed at primary school children. And I also teach at university. So I'm a university professor at two universities in Spain, and I'm currently doing a
Wow.
PhD as well. So I'm pretty busy.
Wow. Oh my God, that sounds amazing, Bernardo. And you chose this title for today, Moving Forward. And I've already had lots of questions about this, by the way. Can you tell us what made you choose moving forward and what does it mean for you?
Right. Why did I choose moving forward? I think it's been kind of a reoccurring theme in my personal and also my professional life to a certain extent. Because, especially at first, when I started as an English teacher, I always thought that my career path was going to be very straightforward.
Yeah.
And I planned many things and how I wanted my career to go. And then little by little, I learned that even if you have your whole journey planned, you may get unexpected opportunities that you
Oh,
can't
okay.
turn down. And then things might not go how you planned them, and you're still moving
Yeah.
forward, and you're still developing professionally, but perhaps not how you planned it, how you plan things.
Yeah.
So on a kind of professional level, that's one thing, and then on a personal level, because yes, both with friends and with family, you learn to deal with things like success and loss,
Yeah.
and kind of always, like, even if you're going through a difficult period, like for example a period of loss, you need to kind of make sure that you're there for your family and your friends, and that they're there to help you, so you're always trying to move forward. And I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does.
Wow. No, I think it's really a really powerful topic actually. Um, because I think it is all about moving forward, isn't it? And rather than because so many, like you said, so many things can happen that we haven't planned for. We have decisions to make or loss or something happens along the way and it can just like stun us. And then you're just like, you can just be frozen, can't you? So in my experience. So I think moving forward is so important because sometimes that is just so hard to do. It's just can seem impossible because you're just like frozen. I mean, so no, I think it's really important. So what would you say? So what's the first thing you think you would mention about this topic and somebody who's maybe, I don't know, experiencing loss or they're at a
Okay.
crossroads and they just can't move forward. You know, when you're just like
When you're
stuck.
kind of blocked.
Yes,
Yes.
blocked, exactly.
Yes, it's difficult because obviously, if you go through a period of loss, you need to accept that it's normal
Yeah.
and it's natural to feel sad and to feel like your
Yeah.
world is kind of crumbling down and stuff. But
Yes.
you also need to kind of be aware of the fact that there are people around you who love you, and who are there for you and supporting you, and during these difficult periods of life, and that it's normal to feel bad. And it'd be strange if you didn't. Like, we
Yeah.
were just talking about this before. Like when I lost my dad a few years ago, I remember when I went, because I moved abroad when I was like 20 for the first
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
And one of the biggest fears I ever had was getting that phone call where they would tell you that something happened to one of your parents, right?
Yeah.
And then it happened.
Oh my
Suddenly it
God.
happened, and of course your world kind of changes when
Yeah.
these things happen. But that also taught me that it's important to rely on your family. Like my mom was very supportive. My wife was extremely supportive, through the whole period. At work, lots of my friends and like I had a network of people
Yeah.
who were there for me, and who also like kind of made me realize the fact that it's normal to feel sad. It's normal that maybe for the next few months you won't be able to feel yourself again, but then little by little things start feeling a little bit more normal,
Oh,
which doesn't mean
really?
that you don't miss the people that you lose,
No.
obviously, right?
Yeah.
But it means that like you can kind of start carrying on with life as before.
And have hope. Because I think sometimes in those moments you might lose a bit of hope.
You do, like,
Yeah.
but it's part of life. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely, definitely. So we've got a question already from Sarah from YouTube. Hi, Sarah, how are you doing? And hello, everybody who's joined us. Please let us know if you have any comments or questions about this topic moving forward, and we will answer you. Or Bernardo, our expert, will answer you. So we've got a question from Sarah. So, okay, how do you know when it's time to stop looking back and start looking forward?
Ooh. Um,
Yeah,
Once I'm not an expert on this. I mean, I'm just telling you based on my experience when this
that's
happened.
good enough.
Yes. I don't know. I don't think that you plan it. I think it just
No,
happens. It just happens. Or at least in my case, like I would
really.
like. Yes, I mean, obviously, I was when it happened with when I lost my dad. I recently lost a very close family member as well.
Did you?
Yeah, my niece passed. I think you might have met her actually. My niece
Probably,
was,
yeah.
yes, she was quite young actually,
Oh,
and
no.
this obviously is a family tragedy. But
Yeah.
how do you? I don't know. I think it's you need to learn, or you need to accept that you have these feelings, and you need to let yourself feel them. Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it
It
does.
does. That is
Um,
so, yeah, absolutely. I
and
mean,
don't try to block these things, and accept that you're sad and embrace it, and then when you're ready, I think you'll start moving on. I think, personally, at first, because you go through periods, right? You go through denial, then you go through anger a little bit, like it's true. I think you go
and
through,
waves. It can come in waves.
yeah. And and you need to accept them, that yeah, I've got the right to be angry because this happened, because it's someone I loved, and I lost this person, so I'm angry that that person left, and I'm also very sad. And then little by little you start thinking like, well, you know what, they wouldn't want me to be sad all the time. Like in the case of my dad, he wouldn't want for me to be sad all the time. He'd want me to be successful and to embrace life. And to, I was also very lucky because after my father passed away, very shortly afterwards, my daughter was born. So you had this contrast feeling of this like very
Yeah.
extreme sadness and this extreme happiness afterwards.
Wow.
So yeah, and you need to also be aware of the fact that you need to be there for your family as well. So yeah, so I think it happens naturally.
Yeah. And
But
were there any, yeah, no, thanks for sharing all of that. Were there any like small things that you did each day to help you move forward? Or was it all natural? Was there something conscious? Like you were like, right, okay, today I'm going to do this. I have to do this to feel a little bit
um,
better.
on a personal level, I think the
Yeah.
only thing I did was I wanted to. I felt like I needed to do something. So I did
Oh,
a
really?
course on transcendental meditation, and that was something that I really thought was very useful.
Ah, okay. So you sort of kept it a little bit busy, or you did something that.
Well, I did the course, and then you start practicing meditation, and you have to do it twice a day for 20 minutes in the morning and then 20 minutes in the
Oh,
afternoon.
okay.
It's effortless, basically. You can do it anywhere, and it's something that I found very useful for me, because that allowed for me to disconnect, I guess, for well, in this particular case, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and that helps you kind of reset, so.
Wow. So even though it doesn't seem like a long time at all, but that actually was quite powerful
Yeah,
then.
but it makes a whole difference. It doesn't have to be a long time,
No.
and it's something you can always kind of squeeze in, like in the morning before you go to work, and then when you get home from work, or before you go to bed.
And
So you can do a little bit, and it helps you kind of be in touch with yourself a little bit.
oh, wow. And yeah, yeah. So that's what I was going to say. So why do you think such a small amount of time can be so powerful? But you sort of answered
Um,
that, 'cause you're connecting with yourself or
it
something.
doesn't feel like a short amount of time actually when you're doing it. When you're doing, especially at first, it feels like a long time because you put a timer,
Okay.
or at least I put a timer.
Oh,
I
did
don't know if you're
you? That's a
supposed to
good
put a timer.
idea.
I don't know if you're supposed to put a timer, but I put a timer,
Yeah.
and then I check, and it goes like it's only been 10 minutes. Oh, it just felt like half an hour. But
Yeah.
so I don't think it's a short period of time. I think it's enough for what you get. Sometimes I don't get to do it twice a day. Sometimes I do it just once. But you're supposed to do it twice a day.
And I guess the more you do it, that probably builds something as well. Like,
The more you do it, the better you get at it. Because one of the things you do when you do meditation is that you need to try to, you have a mantra that you have to recite in your head as
oh,
you
do
do it.
you?
Yes, but always naturally you start thinking about other things, and then the more you do it, the more you start concentrating on your mantra, which helps you disconnect more.
Yeah. Oh,
So I
wow.
highly recommend it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell us. Well, tell me about it, and if you've got any links to put them in on the post, because it sounds really
right. I'll look for a link and I'll share with you. But it's certainly because it's effortless and you can do it from anywhere. You don't need anything. You don't need
interesting.
any tool. When I'm going to places, or when you're traveling, like you can, as long as you can sit down and kind of relax for 20 minutes, you can do it from anywhere.
And
So
how long did you do it for, or do you still do it?
I still do it.
Do you?
You're supposed. This is kind of a life skill. Like you
Yeah.
do the course once, and then you can be as involved as you want with a group of people, but you don't have to be at all.
I love
And
that.
it's a life skill. So I mean, but honestly, I've gone through periods when I don't do it as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I know that I feel much better when I do.
Oh, wow. Okay, amazing. Thanks, Bernardo. We've got another question from Paul. Paul says, "What advice would you give to someone who feels like they're starting over?"
In what sense, starting over? I mean, as like on a professional level or
He
personal
said,
level?
"In my career."
In your career,
Mm,
I would say, if you're starting over, don't shut down opportunities. Like, be
I
open,
really,
right?
yeah,
And this is again with the concept of moving forward professionally. And this is again from my personal experience. Sometimes I had like these goals that I wanted to achieve in my job, and because I was so kind of I don't want to say obsessed because obsessed isn't the word, but because I
yeah.
had kind of drawn this journey in my head, I wasn't accepting any other things except things that would help me would allow for me to achieve these goals.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't until I was more
Oh,
relaxed about it, and
because
yeah,
sometimes, sorry, sometimes that's good because you're focused, aren't you? But then
but then
you're not open.
I don't want to say like it was it came kind of against me or in any way,
Oh,
but I
yeah,
did feel that once I started kind of allowing for other opportunities to, or I was taking advantage of these opportunities that were presented to me, that's when
yeah.
my career started to become interesting.
Oh, really?
Because I was in ELT, as you know, like I was an English
Yeah,
teacher
yeah,
for a
yeah,
while,
yeah.
and because I'd been doing that all my life, I thought
Yes.
that my life was going to kind of take the direction that I was going to work at an academy like International House or the British Council, and I was going to go up the ranks in that kind of industry.
Yeah.
Um, and um, and the first thing that happened was I was offered the opportunity to co-author a course book.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's
So
brilliant.
yeah, so I did it, and the book got published, and because of that, I started getting more into publishing, and then I got this opportunity to work at a publisher in Spain, and that meant that basically my professional world completely changed. It went from ELT to working at a publisher. Yeah,
That's
going to
amazing.
schools to do teacher training, and then because of that as well, I decided to do a master's in linguistics, and I started to do
Wow.
inspections as well. So when I kind of relaxed, and I thought, like, you know what, I'm just going to let these opportunities come, and if it's something I think it's interesting, I'll have a go.
That's
And
so, yeah,
sorry,
sorry.
no,
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 but
sorry.
that's so interesting that you're saying that about just, well, basically like letting go and relaxing instead of like, because sometimes, because I'm a bit like that as well, where I mean, like if I'm not obsessed, but like if I want something, I just zone in on that and it's just that and it's just that. But actually, you're right, because then, well, you're just focused on that and then you don't even see anything else if it comes. You just like block it because you just want to get that. And so actually, so stepping back and just, because like again, going back to what you said before as well about having that plan, because when you're like that, you're just like, it's this way, it's going this way, and it's going to be like that, aren't you? So I don't know, am I making sense?
Yeah, it
But
makes sense. But then I started thinking, okay, I've got this plan, and everything has to be this way,
yes,
But what if it doesn't
exactly.
happen? What if it doesn't
Yeah,
happen? What
yeah,
am I going to do? So that's kind of when I started thinking, well, let's see what's out there, let's see what kind of opportunities there are. And this was when LinkedIn wasn't very popular, but I started kind of checking, and I was like,
Oh,
there's so
okay.
many cool jobs,
Yeah.
and I never thought about these things. So that's when I started getting kind of interested into kind of moving away from ELT
Good.
into. I'm still kind of in touch with ELT a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
do inspections for International House and for Equals.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I go to academies around, well, mostly Europe,
Oh,
to do
wow.
inspections. So that's quite a lot of fun. But apart from
Yeah.
that, like I do mostly my job at LLVS, and well, as I said, I'm doing a PhD at the moment, so that takes up a lot
Yeah.
of my time.
Wow. And what's your
Yeah,
PhD in?
English linguistics.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yes.
wow. Blimmin' hell, Bernardo.
So
Um, we've got another question here. How do you know if you're moving in the right direction?
you don't.
That's, yeah,
I don't think you
I was going to
do.
ask you that. I need to know that answer as well.
Right. I don't think I've ever known whether I'm moving in the right direction. You take a risk and you hope it goes all right, I guess.
It's true, isn't
Luckily, I
it?
haven't had any, well, or I haven't had
Touch
many
wood.
bad experiences when it
Touch
comes
wood, yeah.
but I guess the first risk I ever took was when I moved to Poland, because I moved to Poland in 2005 or six. And
Oh,
at the time we didn't have WhatsApp and we didn't have smartphones. I think it was the last kind of few years, or it was just a few years before everyone had
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
kind of was connected to the internet all the time. So I remember arriving in Poland, not speaking the language, trying to call the school, and they'd give me the wrong number. So I was like, "What am I going to do?" And but
That
luckily,
is
I
scary.
got in. Yeah, but I got in touch with them in the end, and everything went all right. But I think that's it. That's part of the fun of life as well, taking risks and hoping that they go well, and working hard so these risks as well go well. And I think to a certain extent, obviously, we'll have different kind of lives and responsibilities, but
Yeah.
hopefully we would be in a situation where if we take a risk that we don't think is going towards the right direction, you can always go and try to do something else. Easier said
That's
than done,
true.
but
Yeah, yeah, easy. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, no, but I think it's incredible because you took that risk to Poland and I mean, you ended up, meeting your wife there.
I met my wife there. Yes, like a
I mean,
month after I arrived. Yeah.
imagine, so all the way from Costa Rica to Poland. Like, what made you go to Poland? What made you choose Poland?
What made me choose Poland? It was because I wanted to teach English.
Yeah.
I done the CELTA, and
Oh, yeah.
yes, and I wanted to teach at an international house school. So I went to their, because at the time, and it still is quite an attractive academy to start your career as an English teacher. And one of the things I wanted was, I wanted to see Europe, and I wanted to go to a country where I couldn't speak the language, so I would become a better teacher. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I got in touch with, they were looking, well, I saw an ad for the school in Poland, and I contacted the school, and the director of studies had been to Costa Rica.
No
Um,
way.
yeah, so he'd been there for a few months, and he said that he was also interested in starting a Spanish program, which never happened. So I was interested in the idea,
Wow. And then
and
it
it
led
turned out to
to,
be a great experience. Like I wouldn't change a thing.
yeah. Well, yeah, you met your wife and everything. It's amazing.
And I'm in
So,
Poland at the moment, actually, on
and you're
holidays.
in Poland where it all began.
Yeah, I live in
Yeah.
Spain, but I'm in Poland now. Yes.
Yeah. Um, so how do you keep going? This is a question from me. How do you keep going when things, or how do you keep moving forward when, when sometimes you feel like you're not moving forward and nothing's happening, if that makes
Um,
sense.
it makes sense. I think how I see it is, sometimes I feel, I don't want to say like I'm stuck in a rut, but I sometimes
Yeah.
feel like I'm getting too comfortable. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But sometimes I
I
feel like
know.
this is far too comfortable, and I need something.
You
And
get
when
bored.
I don't know if I don't want to say bored,
No.
because I mean, like in my job at the LVS, I appreciate very much the work that I do is very varied as well, and I really like my colleagues. So we have a very nice kind of work atmosphere there. And but it's not that, I just feel like, oh, I just need some sort of challenge, you know.
Mm,
So that's when I think, and I start kind of checking things and reading things and getting in touch with people, and then see what happens, see what comes up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes
But
sense.
as I said, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. The other thing, which I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, is that I
Yeah.
find it very difficult to say no when opportunities
Oh, do
come.
you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I certainly when I see an opportunity that it's even in the slightest kind of interesting, even if I have to kind of make sacrifices,
You go
then
for it.
I try to go for it. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't think, well, I guess it's probably not a good or a bad thing. It's just
it's just a
some,
thing.
yeah, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
But I think they say, don't they? You regret what you don't do, not what you do. Um,
Yes, I think I agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. Like I'm always afraid. Like if I say no, they'll never ask me for anything again. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so I'd rather just like sacrifice whatever I have to sacrifice, like wake up early in the morning or whatever to do the project, and then at least I will have done that. And if something more interesting comes up, then they'll call me, that kind of thing. So
Exactly. At least you've tried as well. I always think that. So, what has been your biggest lesson about moving forward?
my biggest lesson about moving forward, um, that it's all about growing. It's all about continuing to grow. Um, that's I think the biggest lesson, that sometimes you learn things about yourself from the least expected places
Yeah,
or moments.
that's
So
true. That's
and they're not, and sometimes not necessarily from the best ones. Um,
yeah.
so even failure, if you'd like to call it that,
Yes.
for lack of a better term, actually,
Yeah.
is positive. And perhaps in life we tend to kind of have these little failures more often than big successes. And but it's important, I think, to experience these
Mm.
what, like little failures, I call them.
I think that's true. And especially like when you have an outlook like yourself, I think I'm quite similar as well, where you take risks and you just go for it. You're probably more likely to have those not failures, but you're more likely to yeah, experience making mistakes or failures when you
Exactly.
do
But
more things.
I didn't want to call them failures either, but
Yeah, yeah.
for lack of
Um,
a better term.
yeah, but then like again, you're probably going to learn more and become wiser than if you just absolutely did nothing and you know didn't try
Exactly,
anything.
and then certain things that you might not think would be successes will be,
Oh yeah.
and so it tastes better. If I don't know if that makes any sense, but it just feels better
Oh
when
yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
especially if it's hasn't come easy as well. You
yeah.
know the value of it or something maybe. Another question from Brett. Hi Brett, how are you doing? Brett says, "How do you rebuild confidence after experiencing failure?"
Oh, good question.
Yeah, because that's hard, isn't it?
It is.
Sometimes,
It is. Um, what I like to do is I
yeah.
like to allow for myself time to think, and
Do
to put
you?
things into perspective. Because sometimes when we read that email that we didn't want to get,
Yeah.
we get this horrible feeling, and but then if you kind of step back, um, in most cases these things are not personal. They don't know you in most cases, so it shouldn't define you as a person. And once you're kind of aware of that, and you take a step back, and then you start and you think, you allow for yourself time to think and plan, plan your next move. I
Yeah.
think that helps, or at least that helps me,
Yeah. So it's
to
not
think that it's not
personal.
personal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then keep going. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it, sometimes to keep going. I guess like you said, if you've got the network, you know, you need to have this network around you and some healthy habits and
Yeah,
medicine.
sometimes, like if there is a job that I want to get or that I'm interested in, and this is
Okay.
I don't know if this is something that a lot of people do. Maybe this is a pretty basic piece of advice.
Yeah.
But what I try to do is I go to LinkedIn and I look for people who have a similar job, and I see what they've done. Uh,
Oh, that's a
in,
very good idea.
in terms of like their both their professional experience and their education, right?
Yeah.
So and then sometimes that helps you understand why some opportunities might not be for you. Like if you apply
Yeah.
for a job and then you don't get it, and then you look at people who have the similar job and you say, oh yeah, but this person studied this or this person did that, then that kind of helps put things into perspective, and draw a map. I
Definitely.
mean, if that's something that you want to do, maybe that can help you kind of draw the journey.
Oh,
Um,
wow. That's a really good idea, actually. It's a
but
simple one, but I didn't think of it.
yeah, but yeah, so that's something that I've done, and as I said, it's not personal. In like, if you think about HR departments, when they get like hundreds of CVs of people, and they go through them, and I think a lucky few will get a phone call, and the rest of them will get discarded, probably without people even having had a look at them. So
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to do in your career? I mean, it sounds like you're doing so much and you've done so much already, but like, is there anything else you
um,
want to do?
well, the thing is, well, I'd like to finish my PhD. That's kind of like my next goal because
Yeah.
I'm nearly finished. I hope I'll finish this year.
Are you?
Well, this academic year, meaning 26, 27. So that's kind of my goal for this year. I'm teaching at university at the moment, and I've been doing that
Yeah.
for about 3 years, and I've
Okay.
been enjoying that a lot. So I probably would like to get into research, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, would you?
Yes, but once
Oh,
again, I don't know what might happen. You never know what opportunities will come. So
exactly. Especially once you've done that PhD.
yeah, well, yes. Um, I think doing the PhD will help me get more into research and probably do a bit more at university and stuff. But yeah, but I really don't know what's going to happen, and so I'm open to surprises. You know,
Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Bernardo. It's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything
likewise.
else you want to say about moving forward to, our
Um,
listeners?
yes, I mean, as I said before, it's not about forgetting like the past or pretending that everything has gone fine always. I think it's just about accepting change and trying to grow when through the journey,
Yeah, no, absolutely. No,
both
very, very
with the positive things, which sometimes it feels easier, but also with the negative things.
yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing some powerful, simple, but extremely powerful pieces of advice. Really, really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
So lovely to see you again. Thank you, everybody else, for joining. Oh, and also, Bernardo, can you put any links that you've got to anything? I know I can't remember what. Oh, yeah, the meditation or anything
Yes.
about yourself and also on the post. And also, how can people find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. I think that's the easiest place to find me.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everybody. If you have any questions about this topic, please don't hesitate to message Bernardo or leave a comment on the post. And I will see everybody else soon.